All right, hello once again. Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming. Strange things have been happening here. I ended up getting rid of my Create Person form, and the reason I did is I don't need a data grid view on it, so I'm just going to come in here and create a new form. When I tried doing this before, I got all sorts of problems. So we're going to see if we get this again. Create Person. All right, so there it is. Make it look like the other ones. So we will change the color. Background color, light purple. We'll go from one of the other forms that are here, like delete, and we'll grab the two buttons. And we will try to paste them in. Let's move these down, and I want to position them like the other ones are positioned. So this is at 37,355. Let's do the same for this one. And the other one is at 457,355. All right, now we want to add 6 text boxes and 6 labels. Like I said, well, let's see how that works. All right, we'll move these a little bit here. Looks pretty decent. I think we can move this down a skosh. There we go. Let's come in here, and right away, let's add the text align to the middle. And let's go to the font. And as we have been doing, 20, bold, and Arial. All right, now it looks like these need to be a little wider. I think that'll work. Now we need 6. Let me move these down a little bit here. All right, good enough. And we need 6 text boxes. All right. And we're going to do the same thing, meaning we're going to change the font to 20 point, bold, and Arial. And we are going to change the text align to center. All right, now that looks a little funky right now, so let's see. That looks okay. This looks like, yeah, it's not great, but it'll work. Let's lock this into place, and then let's start renaming this stuff. Hopefully this is going to work. I ran into weird problems before. Oops. Now, for some reason, when I try doing this, if I get an error, I'm just going to quit because it was really weird what happened before. Now, for my delete person, sequence contains no elements. Now, if I come back, well, I don't know what the hell's going on here. So, again, he could not find node for code DOM object. I've never seen these before, these kinds of errors. There's our return to startup. There's our save. But when I'm double clicking on them, nothing's happening, which is very strange. Let's copy that. All that. That should now work. And this is just going to be called save person, which will give us an error because we don't have anything called save person. Now I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to call another routine here that's going to be called I'm going to make a Boolean. I'm going to call it keep going. It equals validate all fields. If it doesn't make sense, please bear with me for a second here. So private bool, validate all fields. We're going to make a Boolean in here. We're going to call it success, and we're going to set equal to false. All right. So if txt first name dot trim dot length equals 0, we're going to do this for all of these. There's other ways of doing it than the way I'm doing it, but this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to put in a message box. In fact, let's do it like this. Let's call show error, and we're going to pass to it first name. Good gravy. So let's write that now. Private void show error string message. That's good. And we're going to put in here message box dot show, and it's going to say message cannot be empty. And for the title, we're going to put in here empty message, and it'll be an OK, and it'll be an error. That's fine. So if we leave the first name empty, we're going to show an error that says first name cannot be empty, and have an OK button, and then we'll just return. We want to do this literally. We want to do this for everything that we're going to be going through here. So when return false. So if we get this far, put it in there 6 times. Why? Because what we're doing here is we're saying if first name is empty, show the error for the first name and return false. Next, if the last name is empty, last name and return false. Then the address, then the city, then the state, and finally the zip code. All right, now if we get all the way to the bottom, everything works, so we can return true. Okay, so we're going to validate all fields, and if keep going, how about this? If not keep going, meaning that one of them wasn't correct. You know, we didn't have anything in there. So if not keep going, we'll just return. All right. Now in here too, show error. There's an error in the first name because it was empty. We're returning false. But before we do that, what we can do is we can say txt first name dot focus. Put the focus there. And then last name and then address, and then city, and then state, and then zip code. All right. Now, if everything worked, what this means is we can now create a new person. So person, no, I don't want to say that. I want to say person. What are we going to have to add here? I don't think we'll need any of those, but we'll need using person app dot, let's just put in data. We'll put in models, and I don't even think we're going to need that reload anymore. So just leave it at that. All right. So now we can say person equal new person, and first name equals txt first name dot text, comma, last name equals txt last name, address equals txt address dot text, city equals txt city dot text, state equals txt state dot text, and zip code, and a semicolon there. Again, because I'm a little squirrely here. All right. Now that validation helper, all that is checking is that for all these, it's not really the whole heck of a lot. They're all, I guess I could have probably left that off, because if there's nothing there, technically it's null, but maybe I'm doing some overkill here, but I'm going to leave it the way it is. So I'm going to say here, var errors equals, I do need that validation helper. Like that. Okay. Okay, there's two more things I want to do, but I'm going to get an error when I do one of them. So, sign best value is never used. Success equal false. Show error. let's set success equal to true here. And here, I'm going to do that. And now we're going to return success. So, quickly going through this, what we're doing here is we're setting this thing, we're validating all the fields. And what we're doing here is we're saying if there's no first name, so if first name is empty, or we can say check for empty first name. Make that a little better. Check for empty last name. Check for empty address. Check for empty city. Check for empty state. And check for empty zip code. All right. So that's either going to return true if everything had something in it, or false if something did not. All right. And then we're going to say if it didn't return true, just return. Otherwise, we want to create a new record. Okay. So, validate all fields. If any errors, report them. That's why I think we probably don't even need this validate all fields here, but that's okay. And then finally in here, there's two things that we want to do. One is, and I'm going to just grab this, and I'm going to put that in here, but don't worry. All we want to say here is record added to database. That actually means it worked. So, successful create. We can again just say OK. And instead of error, that'll just be information. Okay, now why are we getting errors here? Because we have a paren there. Here we go. Now, the other thing that we want to do here, and I'm going to go back to my delete, is at the top where we did this. We want to create that repo. And right now in our delete, we have that right after partial, public partial class. So we'll put it right here. All right. So the other thing that we want to do here is right here, we want to say repo.addPerson. So this will actually add the record to the database. So looking at this again, hopefully this is going to work. We changed it so our design here, oh my goodness gracious. Oh, good God. Well, I want to show it to you anyway. All right? Because I don't know what the hell is going on here. Jeez Louise. I'm going to keep the code, though. I don't know what the problem is with this, but there is something that's problematic. So, there's our startup. And here is our save. To save the person, we're going to validate that there's something in each field. That's what this is doing. If one or more of the fields were empty, we're just going to return. Otherwise, we're going to create a new record. We're again going to validate all the fields. If there's any errors, we're going to report them. So if there's any errors, we're going to do this, plus we're going to return. If we get down to here, we're going to add it, and we're going to say record successfully added. All right? Now, why in the world I'm getting this, I have no flipping idea. Again, it says create person does not contain a definition for LBL first name and no accessible method LBL first name, accepting an argument can be found. So, what does that mean? Well, it's possible. My guess is if we go back here to the designer, if I could see it, the designer would be all screwed up again. I don't know what the heck is going on, but I'm going to fix everything else. Okay, so let's go to our read. We want to initialize the component here. There, we don't need this anymore, I don't believe. And this is going to be unbelievably short. Okay, we've got our show all people. That's our auto generate. I guess we do need that line in there. So we need this repo line, and all we're doing in here is we're automatically generating the columns, and we're setting our data source. Okay, so file, save all. That should be everything that we need for our read all persons. So that one should be done. All right, let's go to our update. All right. Now, part of the reason I was getting a problem before is this right here. You want to initialize the component first, and then what I want to call is what is my load? Didn't we make something in here? Forms, migrations, data. Don't tell me I removed it. There we go. Person loader. That's load all people. Person app.reload. We've got person app.reload. So this is person app dot reload dot call that load all people. Now it's giving me a problem here, so let's see if we can fix it. It says the namespace load all people does not exist in personapp.reload. Well, doesn't like that. So what we want to do here is we want to call load people. It doesn't like that. So for now, I'm just going to comment that out. Let's go down to our save. Add 0. Select a record. Let's get rid of all this. Darn it. All right. We've got our error call in here. Already have that. So errors equal that. If there are any errors, put in that. Update it. Say, and then this is what we want. Up here where we were getting that error. Okay. All right. So that one's done. Let's bring up our delete. So we've got our update done. We've got, I think we had an error in our create, yeah. Our read all persons is done, but let's look at the delete here. Again, I don't need this, but I want to put delete here. Okay, that's all okay. 0, yeah, return. Just like we did before, we're going to change this to all right. Return. That's supposed to be a capital P here, because that's its name. Person ID, and then load it. All right, so right now, it says I'm missing a semicolon there. Okay, so right now, as far as I know, everything works except my create, which is giving me nothing but problems. So I'm going to stop right here because I'm blown this up, and I'm going to come back and explain when we come back this line right there and the other one that we have in there, and try to fix this create person. I'll be back with that shortly. Thanks.